Hey, so earlier today, I was recording a new Force Friday video talking about the difference between recording into Arranger or recording directly into clips. And I ended up going on a tangent explaining how when you hold the record button down, there's some new options and settings that you have to pick from. And so I realized I kind of just need to pull that out, make it its own video, and then continue with the normal Force Friday one. So be sure to watch the other Force Friday video. It's going to link up here if it's already done. Let's talk about how you do the settings for recording. So when you go to record, you can hold down this button, and that gives you the opportunity to pick whether or not you want to record to the clip or to the arrangement. Retro record is a new option. I don't really understand the thinking behind it. I know Ableton has already done this for a while where you might be playing around and have forgot to record. It remembers what you did and then you can pull that open. The reason I feel like that's sort of worthless is that usually when I'm just messing around, I'm not using the metronome. So anything that I'm playing or recording is going to be out of sync for the tempo of the song. So maybe under certain circumstances, it might be nice to do retro record, but I don't see myself really ever using that. The settings button here is actually pretty important. This is where you can control some of the basic settings for how you want to record. Do you want automation to be standard, or do you want it to be something that you just simply select? For me, I go back and forth whether or not I use automation in the recording or not. It depends on if I've already decided what I'm going to do for automation or if it's something I want to experiment with later. It is kind of a pain to undo the automation and then to re-record it. So I usually just wait until I'm sure about what I want to do. And then the record launch here gives you a few options. I'm finding that I'm just doing the pad recording because that allows me to be very specific about where I want it to go. I want it to go in this track on this particular clip. After the clip finishes recording, it's going to go to overdub. Now, a point to note is that the overdub only works on MIDI. If you're recording audio in there, it's not going to loop and continue to allow you to overdub over it like a looper. You have to go to the actual looper for that. That's in the menu. There's a looper whole section. I can cover that in a later video. If I've already done so, it's going to be up here. Back to the settings. So I usually leave it on overdub because if I'm doing a drum track or a drum recording, I want to be able to listen to it and maybe add a few other parts as it's playing without having to go back and restart that. So that's usually why I leave that on overdub. Fixed length is something that you can turn on and off here, but you can also do so by pressing the shift button and then this length button down here. If you notice when I'm doing that, it's going on and off. So I don't go into this record menu to change that very often. I just use this quick key here. And I go back and forth between doing fixed length or doing open recordings. And I made a whole other video on that. If you missed it, you can click up here to watch that. Okay, now that that's covered, go watch the official Force Friday video up here.